Quarantine got you locked up with nothing to do? Well, you're in luck, because here's Ranger Day's top 5 tips to surviving quarantine. But first, roll the intro.
Chandler here. Has quarantine got you so bored you're staring down at your bathtub drain? We've got a solution for you. Stay active. Wait. Not like this though. You've got to get suited up. Range pants? Check. Plaid or Cryptek? Cryptek. Trusty T-Rex arms hat. And of course, full kit. Belt? Check. Holster? Check. DP9? Safe of course? Check. Magazines? Check. AR? Also safe. Check. Now, some of us at home may not have a full gym to our disposal, so you're probably going to have to get creative with weights. Scout here was nice enough to volunteer for us. Here we've got some modified chest press with a live weight, as well as some planks with some live weight. It's really more challenging when it moves around, and push-ups with live weight. Sometimes they don't like to stay on. Whether it's push-ups, planks, sit-ups, crunches, running, walking, it doesn't really matter as long as you stay active during these times. Just get out there, get active. And since you're already kitted up, it might be good if we pass it over to Trevor to talk about staying frosty.
Hey guys, it's Trevor here with the channel, and our next tip for staying sane during the quarantine period here is to stay frosty. As much as I'd like to go to Wendy's right now, I'm actually talking about dry firing. And shooting is fundamentally a very perishable skill with the biomechanics and just the muscle memory of repeatedly performing draws, reloads, and even trigger presses. So it's a very important thing that you can do even if you don't have access to a live range. So let's take a look at some dry fire exercises that you can do even at home. Alright, so one of the first things I like to do before I practice any dry fires or reloads is to just lay out everything that I'm going to be using and make sure that everything's cleared and there's no magazines or loaded weapons. Next, once you're all organized and ready to go, you'll be just like our young lad Terrence here, who's prepared and ready for a productive session of dry fires. Alright, so one of the first drills we'll be talking about here today is a simple draw from concealment. I'll be drawing from the appendix position, but you can use what you have. This is a very good practical drill to be consistent with. And when I'm just getting started dry firing, some people like to do cold starts, but I tend to like to break it down very, very slowly into the individual segments that make up the draw. You can see that I have about 3 different positions that I go to while I'm executing a draw from concealment. I like to practice these slowly just to get a feel for the motions when I start out. Next, once you have the motions in mind, I just start to go slowly and then gradually begin to work up the speed. I'm not trying to go for any speed records here, I'm just going for smoothness and consistency. This will help you to be more efficient, and it'll also help you to realize any mistakes you're doing, and also just smooth out your draws in general. And as I go with this, I'm just trying to increase my speed a little bit each time, and I'm never aiming to go full out 100% as fast as you can. It tends to get sloppy around here, and aiming for about a 80% or 90% speed that you consistently execute your draws at well is a pretty good target to go for. You can then build upon this drill by adding a reload to the end of it. This is especially useful if you have one of those mag carrier rigs like the Tier 1 Axis Elite or the T-Rex Arms Ragnarok. Again, I start slow just to get the motions down and then build up speed. And don't worry if you mess it up a little bit. That's kind of what you're practicing for, figuring out what needs a little bit of work. So if you mess up on something, just try to isolate that particular motion, be it the draw or the reload, whatever it may be. Just break it down and practice just that part little bits at a time, and then you'll improve and go back into the full motion. And then once you have it down, it's more or less just building up small speed increments until you can get to that nice and smooth and efficient 80 or 90% speed, and just work from there. This next drill is more or less the same but from a belt. I like to break it down into these 2 or 3 positions to help prevent myself from swooping the gun too much up or down when I'm presenting it from my belt position. I like to place my hand on my chest as sort of a reference point so I know to bring my gun there instead of up or down. I picked that up from a Collion Noir video on YouTube, and it's working out pretty well for me. This drill can also be expanded upon with a reload. I didn't have any mag pouches on me at the time of this filming, but these stonecutter pants from 511 Tactical have a nice mag pouch that you can use just fine. And it's just the same as drawing from appendix. Slow it down if you need to and just focus on being smooth. This first rifle drill here is the simplest and arguably one of my favorites. It's just a simple ready up from a low ready position. This helps you get better at picking up your reticle. I just like to pick a consistent spot in one corner of the house. I'm using the Holosun 510C, and I can just tell you I love this thing. The reticle is awesome, and it's been a great sight for me so far. This next drill just adds in some simple target transitions. I like to pick the same 2 or 3 objects across the room and practice transitioning between them, with my eyes leading and the rifle following. Again, always make sure your weapon is always pointed in a safe direction when doing this drill. And last but not least, of course, we have reloads. Again, I'll start kind of slowly just to get a feel for the motions, and then gradually work my speed up, going for that same 80 or 90% consistency. If I have trouble with something, I'll slow it down and isolate that particular part of the movement. Otherwise, I just build up my speed in increments and find that sweet spot. And again, don't worry if you mess anything up. Just slow it down, fix what you need to, and get back to finding your nice 80 to 90% point of speed and consistency. Another tip we have for getting through this quarantine period is to stay social, but from a distance. Staying connected digitally with your friends and family is important, especially since most of us are somewhat isolated nowadays. Here at Range Day, we've been keeping in touch on Xbox with some good old Halo custom games and some sweaty PvP every now and again. We all have Game Pass on there, and we picked up the Master Chief Collection and Halo 5, and we've been having a blast with it. It's been a perfect way for us to let off some steam, relax, we don't have to try hard pants on, and keep our spirits up in general. Just don't stay up all night practicing your assassinations. But you don't have to play video games, but it's definitely worth using today's technology to keep in touch with others. Be it Skype, FaceTime, or an online version of your favorite card game, there are plenty of ways to stay social while staying at home.
Staying fit, staying social, and staying frosty is only part of the equation for staying sane during this COVID-19 pandemic. There's nothing wrong with playing games with your friends or watching your favorite show for the 12th time. At this point, I've lost count of how many times my wife and I have seen The Office all the way through. However, if you get to the end of the day and all you have done is work from home, talk to your friends and family, eat dinner, sleep, just to wake up and do it all again, you might not be getting the most out of your day. If you're like some, maybe that's all you can do during a normal day. But since we are all in timeout, several of our normal daily activities like driving to and from work or school, physically hanging out with friends, going to the gym and such have been eliminated from our schedule. I've got a crazy idea. Why don't you learn something?
Typically, I found that I have about 6 to 7 hours after work and before bed every day.
After cooking dinner, working out, watching Netflix with the wife, and possibly popping off with the boys on the Xbox, that leaves me about 2 hours up in the air. That is plenty of time to do some research on gear and gadgets you may want, pick up a new or forgotten talent of yours, or even try your hand at a new craft. The list is endless on what you can learn, but make sure it's something you have some remote interest in, or you're going to feel like you're sitting in your least favorite class from high school or college. Check out some training videos for shooting drills and tactics. Check out some online classes and tutorials for first aid and bleed control. Or maybe break out an old wilderness survival book to run through it. But think about this. Just like someone who sits on their couch, watches TV, and eats Twinkies, an idle mind slows down, and it's important to exercise it every once in a while. All this extra time is perfect to help you start good habits and work to become a more well-rounded individual.
Also, if you're someone who thinks learning is pointless or stupid, think about this. Natural talent and strength is only half the battle. Reading material and studying masters of your craft will only accelerate your natural talents. If you ever have to test your skills against someone, whether it's a sport, game, or heaven forbid, a self-defense situation, and your opponent knows more than you, well, chances are you'll lose.
Hey guys, it's Trevor again, and our last tip is to check out some more range day. But seriously, we've been seeing some exciting growth with the channel lately, at least by our standards, and are very grateful for all the support. We know some of you might be new to the channel, and we wanted to give an overview of the guns and gear related content that we usually have to offer, so let's check it out. One of our favorite things to do on the channel is share our impressions and give reviews on some of our favorite gear, as well as new products that we're currently testing, the good and the bad. Our review list is always growing, and we discuss everything from our recommended EDC concealed carry holsters to some of our favorite optics and other pieces that we use on our AR builds. Speaking of builds, we also like to showcase our own complete projects. A great build to check out on our channel is Chandler's revamped HK VP9, featuring some snazzy slide work and a holosun optic. And you can bet there will be some more cool projects coming to the channel in the very near future. Additionally, we like to discuss various tips we use for our gear setups and also share our thoughts on various updates related to the firearms industry. So let's get to what everyone really watches the channel for. Range Day is proud to feature tactical corgis, safety checks, my personal favorite, Range Day bloopers,
Death.
Shooter ready. No, that's not all.
I'm just shooting low. Cool. How many of those you got in there? Unlimited.
and of course,
We hope these tips give you some motivation or ideas to keep your mind and body active. At this point, any bit of normalcy is welcome. Everyone has been affected by this pandemic in some way or another. Our friends, family, and community are in our prayers every night. We will persevere and make it through this together. Let us know in the comment section what you're doing during this pandemic to fight off boredom and stay healthy.
If you have any questions about anything you've seen in this video, or even the whole channel, ask in the comment section. We will get back to you. If you liked our video, hit the thumbs up button. If you want to stay up to date with the channel, you can hit the subscribe button. And hit the bell icon if you want to receive a notification when we post new videos. From all of us here at Range Day, thanks for watching.
Temperature of cloud. Water will condense.